Like I'm so happy to like see people. So today is basically like it's our day because like it's World Gratitude Day, and the gratitude app. So we have a lot going today. There's a lot of buzz. We're doing a few things today, and this is one of it. So I'm so happy to be here, and thanks for this opportunity. Just wanted to like get a show of hands. Like, okay, great. So you posted the link to the gratitude app. Um, how many of you have already installed the app or have the app already? Just wanted to like have a show of hands. If there's someone who's already installed the app, using the app. Just wanted to know that. And like secondly, just feel free to like put it in the comment section as to like what are you expecting from this session. I would love to know more. So this is based on like so we have a lot of users who are using the app, and generally like we talk to them, and they have like questions about how to practice gratitude. And I thought like I'll do that same thing with this audience. So it looks like Shraddha has installed the app. Pulkit has installed the app. Oh, even Ankita, thanks so much. Like, it's great to hear that you installed the app. I hope like you're enjoying, and just like feel free. Oh, wow. Khushbu has also installed the app. Great. So let me get started. I think if you've like, some of you have already started with the gratitude journey through the app. Let me start sharing the screen right now. Just give me one sec. Okay. Are you able to see my screen? Yeah. Okay, great. Okay, so this is a session, how to build a habit around gratitude. So here's going to be the agenda, a quick one. I'm just going to cover like 5 most frequently asked questions. Now, I believe like some of you have just got started with your journey. Some of might have been already journaling, but what are some of the things that, generally like we get asked by our users, or even for myself, like what kind of struggle that has been for me to persistently, just cultivate that habit of feeling grateful. Um, so okay, like I'm also following the chat. So to like great question from Kim. So why do you need an app to be grateful? That's a great point. I just wanted to have like a show of hands, and I'll like tell you more. Yeah, you definitely don't need an app for that. So that's first. The second is I'll just share 2 practical tips to build a habit. And if there is any question and answer, like we'll do that towards the end of the session as well. But feel free to like keep asking any questions that you have, so that it gives me like a pulse of if you're getting what I have to say or not, right? So like first question is like like why should you care about like what I have to say about gratitude? Right. So I built this app, and like it came out, as Aditi said, it came out of a personal need. So I just wanted to like, tell what's unique about me. And that is like my story. So just wanted to like, first give you just a brief account of what my story has been, and what made to start gratitude and like practice gratitude. Right. And the hero of this story has been my father. So my father has been an ambitious person. He has had dreams, and he works relentlessly to achieve those dreams, to make them come true. So he's sacrificed for me. He has worked on his own dreams, and he's kind of a person who just won't give up. He's been dashing, super confident, and fearless. And around 35 years ago, he started his own career journey as a clerk in the municipal corporation of Mumbai, right? And from there, he rose on one ladder at a time in his administrative career. And at times, he went out of the way to become more worthy of success. To such an extent that when he was of age 50, he even gave qualification entrance exams like we do now, right? And 4 years ago, he was very well placed to become the municipal secretary, which is like the highest administrative level in Mumbai, right? So he had excelled at all the metrics to become the secretary. Everyone had, in fact, started congratulating him before even the official announcement. He felt great because his dream was finally coming true, from someone from clerk to like becoming the municipal corporate, the secretary. And just 4 years ago, when the appointment day had come, what happened was dirty politics. So someone else out of nowhere was appointed for his position, and he was shattered. He was heartbroken, and that was the beginning of our spiral, negative spiral that got us all into a rut-like situation. My father, he had courage. As I told you, he was dashing, was fearless. So he appealed. He appealed to the committees, the chairman, the commissioner, the municipal commissioner, the political parties, and they all turned a deaf ear to him. But that was not going to stop him. He was fearless. He decided to take this to judicial court. Like he thought, like the justice needs to be like served. This is not what this is not what how things should work. So he went to the court to fight this case, against the corporation, and we supported him. We were starting to feel helpless because no one was understanding us, but then we were optimistic that the judiciary will do proper justice, and that turned out to be more ugly. The whole process was sucking the energy, the effort, time, and money from all of us, from my entire family. And you know how much money this like processes cost? It eventually led us to a financial crunch. And after spending countless days fighting this, we lost. My dad lost the case. And that day he felt betrayed. It shook his confidence. He felt fear, and I had never seen him like that ever before. And I can't even imagine like what it might be for him to be working with people and being among those people who treated him, or he considered him their enemy. Must have been so disempowering. And I was feeling angry. I got really, really angry about all this. I wanted to do a lot of things, cause harm and stuff like that. And I was feeling extremely helpless. And I would wonder, why did this happen to him? Why does this happen to us? Why can't good things happen to us? Is there no one around us who wants us to be happy, for him to be happy? Are all people, so shallow? All this kind of questions were coming to me. Do they enjoy making us suffer, feeling helpless and seeing us disturbed? And all our entire family, I think, were just consumed, so much consumed that we could not find joy for days. And amidst all this, my mother started having health issues. I wasn't enjoying my work either. I was not feeling happy. I was not passionate about the work that I was doing. And my sister was also struggling to find a job. And it felt like it was too much. And we wanted to be better. We wanted help. So we asked for help. Some advised us that, hey, the first advice that you get is there's something wrong with your environment. Do a ritual, do a puja. We did that. Someone came and told us that your house directions are all skewed. They are not according to your vastu. You're not going to get prosperity because the vastu is wrong. You're staying in the wrong place. We believed that. We rented out an apartment, moved out from our place, and we thought things would improve, right? But that didn't. Others told us like maybe you should look for some spiritual healing. What you need is like, there is some negative energies around you. Your aura is like, I don't know, filthy. You need to get that cleared up from spiritual healer. We did that too. And it reached to a point where I thought all this was just nonsense, baseless, right? There's no logic to it. And while all this was happening, I think universe has its own way of like showing signs sometimes. And this book called me, this book, The Secret, it called me. It was a gift from my girlfriend back then. She's my wife now. And I just happened to take that book. And being an engineer, I think had I read it some other time, it wouldn't have literally spoke to me. But at that time, it just spoke to me. It said about ask, believe, and receive. And I don't know, for some reason, it felt like it was trying to give me a light to navigate during these dark times. It spoke of a lot of things. The Secret spoke of a lot of things, but one thing it spoke was this: whoever has will be given more, and he will have an abundance. Whoever does not have, even what he has will be taken from him. And you would wonder, what does whoever has what, right? I was wondering the same thing. And in the magic book, it's been written that, and the secret word is gratitude. So what it says is basically whoever has gratitude will be given more, and he will have an abundance. Whoever does not have gratitude, even what he has will be taken from him. And I felt it right. Like, because of the space I was in, gratitude didn't come across to me like a word, like just another word or just another emotion. For me, it was much more. I trusted gratitude. It gave me hope. It gave me hope that maybe if I if I have gratitude, I know it sounds ridiculous, but maybe if I do that, I might be able to come out of this rut. And so I decided, I can find something that just whatever that makes me feel lighter, less anxious or joy. I'll consciously spend my energy, thinking about it and feel grateful for it. So I started simple. I had pick up and drop from my office. So every morning I would hop into the cab. I would take out my phone, open up notes, and write about what I am feeling grateful for. And the first thing to write was so easy, right? Because I was about it. It was about basically about the cab, because and the cab driver Manojji, he would come to pick me every day. So it was very natural for me to like think about the first thing to be grateful for, and that was as simple as that the cab came to pick me up. Manojji came to pick me up. And I would also write about, if yesterday there was no traffic, I would write about that. I would write about, being just grateful to God, to universe. Um, I liked monsoon. So I would write about, if it drizzled, I would write about, I'm grateful that it rained a little bit. So a little later, even I started writing about things that I wanted to manifest. So I started writing about my hair, my skin, my health, and I started feeling a little grateful about where I was. And all that it will do was bring a smile on my face. I really, really enjoyed that feeling. When I used to do that, I enjoyed that feeling. And that was a great hook for me. I would be longing for Manojji to come and pick me up for work. And the universe would show signs to me. The more I felt grateful about having no traffic, or like without any traffic, I will find like more occasions where I would get free roads. I don't know, like it sounds crazy, but it just felt, I probably I wasn't mindful, I didn't notice. But again, like there were like more instances where I felt there was no traffic at all. When I felt grateful about people who helped me, I will find that the more I felt grateful for them, the more they would want to help me whenever they could and wherever they could, whenever I needed. Maybe they always did, but I hadn't noticed. I wasn't mindful because, I'm so preoccupied with all this negative emotions that I just forgot to experience life, the experience, the beauty of the life and people who bring beauty in your life. I just thought that people were bad, right? So over time, I sensed a change in me. I could feel that I was well placed to navigate through situations better. I realized that it's not a great feeling to make my problems the center of the universe. Like, I think it's just such a small dot, right? In the whole universe, I'm just a small dot. And to make my problems the center of the universe just started, I realized that it's something that could be avoided. I got that perspective shift, I think. And I could feel more empathy. I could feel happy for other people. It's so difficult. Like, I feel like at times we feel envy if other person is more, there are more things to celebrate and we feel envy for them. But just being, enough made me feel that I can be happy for others. So what happened is, soon I left my job, and I started working independently. Although it was uncertain, I could navigate my way out of the comfort zone. It all started because of gratitude. And in a couple of months, in fact, I got engaged. So things were like changing, but I felt confident about them. I felt, empowered by them. Um, all through this, what happened was I realized this. So yesterday, this is a beautiful quote from Rumi, where she says, yesterday I was clever, so I was trying to change the world. Today I'm wise, so I'm changing myself. I think that's what happened. I think gratitude helped me to change myself, and that phase just allowed me to sink in gratitude, and it just changed my life, right? So I thought of building, I have been an Android developer. I've been a tech person, so I used to journal in my notes. I wanted something which was very private, which I could just color with pastel colors, have a reminder, And so I had built this app for me, which I was using, and that I called it as just Gratitude. It was not a startup idea or anything. So I just named it as Gratitude. And that was it. I felt the difference after using my own app, and I said maybe this could make a difference, in other people's life. So that's basically about me. I'm 31 years old now, and my mission had always been to impact millions of people and make them successful. So May 2017 was when the the tough times hit us. And now when I look back, I'm grateful for that tough times. My father is retired now, and he let it go, and he in fact enjoys life, the retired life, like the way he wanted to. Personally, for me, I got married to an amazing partner, and she's so empowering. And the best of all, like the creation of Gratitude happened, which is now impacting millions of people and helping me achieve my dream. So I'm grateful for that. And yeah, 2 months down the line, I had The Secret. I built the app in October 2017. I was the only user then, and I had asked my sister to actually try it out. And March 2018 is when Gratitude app was available for the entire world. And I decided in October to work on it full time, because a lot of people who had started reaching me out saying that this is really helpful. Could you help me do this? Could you help me do that? And I was really happy. It was my happiest moments, just spending time talking to people who went through this similar journey in their lives. And I'm just grateful that, it's now reached over or many people across the world. So that's about me. And that is why I think, I thought I'll take this session, because I wanted to spread more things about like gratitude. I'm deeply passionate about it. Today being World Gratitude Day, there's something that exciting that we do every year for our users, our community. And I'll share that what we're trying to do. But do let me know. I just wanted to take a pulse from you guys. Like, how have you been through a hard time? What were your coping mechanisms like? I would love to hear about that too, like in the chat section, if you can just let me know. Aditi, please feel free to like tell me if there are any chat questions. I'm not looking at them right now, but please definitely let me know.
Yeah, I think the only question that's come so far was Kim's, like, why do we need an app to be grateful?
Right. Yeah. So yeah, you definitely don't need an app. I just had put the link in the, I was just curious as to like how many people had the app, but you don't definitely need the app. You can just pick up like gratitude can be felt in multiple ways. One of them is journaling. The reason I started gratitude journaling, because I felt it was very humbling. It allowed me to be grounded. So I've tried with physical journals, but probably it's very subjective. It didn't stick to me. With the gratitude app, that was something that was sticking to me. So yeah, that's why the app. What happens is there are like a couple of pros and cons there. I just want to clarify, since this has been a question, is sometimes you forget to be grateful. You forget that there are good things that are happening around. You're so focused on the negative things that you need someone, like a friend. Hey, you know what, you're being too complaining. Why don't you like think about something great that happened today, or something that made you smile today? And the best part about the gratitude app is, or any digital solution, is that you can have those reminders which asks you empowering questions, right? So in the gratitude app, we have questions like, hey, what made you smile today? Or what was the best part about today? Or what advice did you recently, hear or listen to that made a change in your life? Or what was something that you didn't have 2 years ago and you have it now, right? In fact, let's do that. Like, if it is okay, like we can just start by asking a very simple question: is what are you grateful for right now? If I could, I would love to know, like, you can put it in the comment section. What are you grateful for right now? Okay. So like, I'm so thankful. Like, Megha, thank you so much. You love the narrative. Kim, wow. Wow, that's Kim's story. Like, she had a near fatal car crash 5 years ago, 2 ICU stays and multiple surgeries later. I have a life of gratitude. That's great. Like, I'm pretty sure gratitude changed life for you as well. Great. Okay. So Meghna, thank you so much. So Meghna says, my colleagues who invited me to this session, right? So exactly, like, sometimes you just need a reminder that something that was helpful for you, something, uh, and um, and that's the question, right? So the question becomes then, what should I be grateful for, right? This is typically the question. Like, okay, now you get a reminder, okay, and then you are like, I'm interested to know more, like, but what should I be grateful for? I can't think of things to be grateful for. And I remember, like, when I had started my gratitude practice, uh, I was thinking about, at times I used to think about big things, like, oh, like any celebratory moments. It could be like promotion, it would be like something, some life events. And they were so rare, like, and I had basically I was trying to do is attach my happiness to these big goals. And unless and until I don't reach those goals, I will never be happy, or I wouldn't be grateful. So I consciously decided to focus on small things that I could see every day. And it feels like every day is a blessing, right? So I remember I was going through my journal, the very first entries that I wrote, and I had wrote about just the fact that, thank you, God, that, all of us, all of family are alive and healthy, and that we are together in these tough times. As simple as that. I was thankful to our cook Pramila and Anjali for cleaning our house and helping us clean our house and cooking us delicious food. These were small things that I could feel happy, and they were making us successful in what we were doing. So, a great question. I believe this. I strongly believe this, that our brain can find answers to any questions. What is important is asking those right questions. So remember, in my journey, I was asking the wrong questions. I'm asking, why are people bad? Why are people shallow? Why are people wanting bad from us? And my brain was giving me answers, because the world is just like this, because you are not deserving, because I'm not worthy. It was not helping me out, right? So better question, asking great questions is the way to go. So instead of asking like, what should I be grateful for? You could ask, what are some of the privileges that I enjoy and I take for granted? Like if you ask this question, you would suddenly realize that, hey, you know what, like we're taking Zoom for granted. Like there's so many people in so many corners of the world and are able to like join and listen to this. The internet connection, I don't know, like the MacBook, the phone, there's so many things that we're just taking for granted. So if you just ask this question, what are some of the things the privileges, the fact that we are alive, right? I was listening to Sadhguru the other day, and where he mentions, like, if you wake up the next day, just smile, because almost like 150,000 people never wake up like the next day. Like you're alive. And if you call up people and your dear ones are alive, you must smile more. You should feel grateful more, because, like it's so, it can be like so sporadic. Like you never know, like we have tomorrow or not. It's very deep, but as you start feeling grateful, slowly and steadily you realize, yeah, life is a blessing, as Kim was also saying, right? So I think this is a better question to ask. I'm just going to take a quick look. Okay, great. So Megha says she is grateful for good health. That's great. Fighting and annoying my siblings. That's beautiful. Sweta says grateful for beautiful family I have and all the good people surrounding me. This is so great to hear. And the best part is when you're reading someone else's gratitude journal, like what they have to say, what they're grateful for, it brings a smile, and you also realize, oh yes, I'm also grateful for that, and makes you more happy. So sharing gratitude is also an amazing way. And that's another thing that is in the gratitude app, where you can write gratitude letters. So once in a while, I'll take a moment to write, just think of a person who really helped me during this week, and just write a thank you letter saying that, hey, you mean a lot to me because of this. I'm grateful for that. So, and almost every single time the other person will come back to me and say that the feeling is mutual, right? And it's such a, and then one thing can lead to another, and you're talking for hours on phone, just catching up on life. So sharing gratitude is great, right? Okay. So the next question that we generally get is, sometimes, even though, like, as I said, like, for some, like, it might come across as, oh, how do you mean? Like, how can Zoom be something to be grateful for, an internet connection to be grateful for. And that leads to a question like, how should I express my gratitude in an effective way, right? Sometimes it might feel forced because you don't want to be like too pushy. It's not always about, positive psychology or just thinking positively all the while. It's not about that. You can be grateful for even your tougher times, even for your sadness. In fact, it's important to experience every single emotion, right? You can feel grateful that you are able to express emotions like sadness. You know that when you're feeling sad, probably that is your phase in life that is leading to your growth, right? So I know it's in the hindsight, but it's okay to like feel sad about things. So that leads to a very important question. You shouldn't force gratitude. So the question is, how should I express it more effectively? Again, so just rephrasing that question, and a great question to instead ask would be, what do I genuinely feel grateful for? And what about it makes me feel grateful? Now, this is a great question. So when you ask this, you add this word genuinely, that is very high impact because, you can just fake at times, okay, I'm grateful for, I don't know, this pen, but that's not genuine, right? So when you ask this, okay, what am I genuinely grateful for? Then you start, like your brain starts thinking about, okay, what happened today that I'm genuinely grateful for? Maybe, okay, this user helping, like this user, telling me about an issue in the app, or that is something that if even if that's not grateful, that's not genuine, then you'll still keep questioning, okay, what am I genuinely grateful for, right? And sometimes the reason can be important, right? So you can be grateful for maybe a particular person. Not every day you're grateful for them, but probably that day they did something for you, or you just realize how important that person is to you. So what about it makes me feel grateful? This is such a beautiful question to ask. So I think this would help you. So the first question obviously is, what are some of the privileges that you take for granted, right? What do I genuinely feel grateful for? What about it makes me feel grateful? Okay, great. So far so good. Great. Okay. So I'm just going to look at the questions again. So Barinder is asking, isn't Gratitude app for Android users? It's actually available for both. Although I don't want to make this session about like Gratitude app, sorry about asking this in the first place, but yeah, but it's available for iOS as well. I'll share the link. I think Aditya has already shared. We'll share it again. Grateful for having a job. Dhaval, that's really amazing. And just I wanted to add there. So Dhaval says he's grateful for his job. As we covered in the last question, is what about it makes you feel grateful will make it more genuine. So maybe for having a job is helping you to pay your bills, or maybe you're enjoying the job and you're passionate about it, or it could be like just having those friends in your job that you're grateful for. So just try to like probably write it in the way of, I'm so happy and grateful for having this job because and your reason. So what about it makes you feel grateful for? Okay, so that is very important. And this is another question. So what I'm doing here is I'm making you like guys ready for just in case if you're not already consciously practicing gratitude, or just some of the hurdles that you might face when you are like trying to be great, trying to make a habit of like practicing gratitude. Actually, yeah, as someone mentioned earlier, right? Gratitude is about just a lifestyle choice. So but while making choices, it can become harder because of the obstacles that can come in your way. So what I'm trying to do here is just probably readying you for some of the obstacles that you might face. So this is one of the common questions that we get from our people who are using our app as well. So they say that, it's okay, like first 2-3 days are great. I'm grateful for this thing. And then it starts to become repetitive. Like today you are saying, I'm grateful for my mom, or I'm grateful for my job. And tomorrow I'm grateful for my job. I'm grateful for my job. So it's become repetitive. And the fourth day you are like, okay, like, I don't know, I'm not even feeling it. So what the heck? I'm not just going to do this, right? So what to do here? Again, like this is a great question to ask when that happens is, what are the different reasons for my gratitude? Okay, what new can I think that I could be grateful for? So first question is about feeling gratitude for the same thing. So today I'm grateful for my mom because maybe when I was with her, like she would cook some delicious meals, my favorite dishes. The next day I would be grateful. Okay, yeah, yesterday I was grateful for my mom just because she called me on to check on with me if I'm doing okay, right? Other times, like when I'm just scrolling through old pictures and memories, I find to feel gratitude towards her. It reminds me of some of the things that she has done when I was little. That's there, like, and it reminds me of some of the selfless things that she's done for me. So every day you could be grateful for that particular thing or a person. It's just that you can change your reasons. Like, I'm pretty sure you can always keep asking, what else can I be grateful for this person or a thing, right? And at times when you're feeling great, you can always keep asking this, okay, what new can I feel grateful for? You can just look around your room right now, right? Just look around your room right now and think about and look at particular thing where you just felt, okay, it has been lying here for a lot of time and never really appreciated the presence of it. So for example, I have this extension board which is like my everyday utility. I have probably taken it for granted, but now that I realize, yeah, like I'm really grateful that it is there with me. I have 3 4 plugs there, and so I'm really grateful for it. Right? So it could be anything. Like, just look around your room and you can ask yourself, okay, what new thing that I can feel grateful for? And again, it's not being pushy. It can be like, like this iPad that I have, right? And this iPad helps me to read books. So it's something that I've not felt grateful actually. So that is something new for me. So this is new that I can think to be grateful for even today. So yeah, I think that's another great question. Okay, that leads me to another question that we generally get is, what should I do if I can't think of anything to be grateful for? Right? Tell me, like, just again, like, show of hands, how many of you like feel that, at times it's so easy to like complain, like, and just keep focusing on things that are not going right, right? And you're saying, okay, you want us to be grateful for, but it's such a tough time right now, and especially in this pandemic, like, there's um I'm pretty sure everyone in their close circles, like, you might have heard like about people passing away because of COVID. And then there is grief. So many people have lost jobs, and then they would definitely ask this, like, how is that it will be really inhuman for me to like just force gratitude onto them. That's something that is wrong. That is definitely wrong. So at times it's not about like constantly feeling grateful. As I said, like, it's very important to experience all the emotions. So at times when it is really really difficult and to be grateful for, I can give you couple of tips like that has helped me. So again, like a digital version or even like a physical journal helps. Is when I'm not feeling grateful, I will generally look back at my previous journal entries and I will be like, okay, today I don't feel grateful for, but when I look at like 5 6 entries, I just at least realize that my life is not completely bad. There were so many moments like that happened, which I was grateful for just lately. Maybe this is just a phase of time. I don't know, it just makes me ready that it's okay. It's okay to feel this. This is just a phase in life. And that particularly happens when you're going through grief or, going through some relationships, hard time during tough times during in relationships. So, and that time, what happens is, instead of asking that, hey, you know what, I can't be grateful for, or like just saying that, um, I can't think to be anything to be grateful for. You can ask a better question is, how can I let this go? Right? When you're not feeling grateful enough, um, this can be a great question, because what it allows you to do is, again, your brain is trying to answer these questions. And most likely it will find great answers if you ask the right question. How can I let go? In terms of, generally what happens is, if you don't get what you want, you are tied, so much tied to achieving it. Like what happened with my father. He would definitely had I just told him like, hey dad, just be grateful, which I had tried, by the way. Let's be try to be grateful. But he was someone who was going through a lot. And for him to like consistently tell him to be positive, to think positive, was not going to help. So instead, like, he, I think, probably eventually learned how to ask this question about, how can I let this go? So he never became the municipal secretary, but he just let it go. And that has probably helped him. He has had blood pressure and like sugar, but he's been keeping great health. just by, I think, letting things go. Even now, he's like, he might go into the negative thinking loop, but at least like, that's like a phase. In the long term, I think he has managed to let it go. So this is a great question to ask when you're not feeling that grateful. That brings me to the last question, and I think which was actually the most important. Again, like, how can gratitude journaling help me? Um, I think I have covered this a little bit, right? So gratitude, from my story, I'm like, I know there are a lot of scientific evidence about how happy hormones are released when you practice gratitude, when you say thank you, when you genuinely feel grateful for. Um, there's a lot of scientific evidence, but for me, it's been like a personal journey. So I truly believe that, like, gratitude brings changes in your life. um, and I'm pretty sure like many people in the group do. How can gratitude journaling help me? Yeah, I think for sure, like, gratitude you can practice in multiple ways. You can do meditations, you can also think in your own mind, you can write it down. But eventually, I think it has allowed me personally to understand that all of us are connected in some or the other way. So I know, like, at least most of the times I would be self-aware that something might be happening, something must be going on with the person that is in front of me, and I think I need to be empathetic and kind. That happens with time. I think that is something that I have built, and I'm still in the process, but that is something that I really feel genuinely what gratitude helps me to do. And yeah, that brings to another point, which is improving awareness. I realized that most of the things were there in front of me. It's just that I never noticed. With gratitude, when I gave some time to just think and spend a few minutes and write about it, it increased my awareness. It increased awareness not just like about the surroundings, but also about me. I think it allowed me to understand what really excites me, what about me, you know when do I feel I'm not worthy, questions, very difficult questions about your own self. um, what makes me feel sad. So there are like a lot of emotions you can have self-awareness. So I think journaling, when right prompts are asked to you, right, what are you grateful for, over time you realize that you're grateful for a particular thing. You're becoming more aware. You realize that this is what helps your mood. You realize that this does not empower you. So you become more like aware of your own self, which is like such a beautiful way of like living life, right? um yeah, so you know what, like, it's not just me. As I told you, like, a lot of our users, a lot of the people who are using the app, it helps me to connect with them and listen to their stories. So we have a blog, which is blog.gratefulness.me, where we have inspirational stories of lots of people around the world who have found gratitude as life changing. There are users like Shelling, Margaret, who have shared about how they had traumatic childhood, abusive father, um, mother passing away when they were young and had like tough times, and how a simple practice of feeling grateful brought a transformation, and they have made their mission to actually spread gratitude too. So yeah, that's that. Like, I'm just going to check if there are any other questions. Okay, the world should be grateful for my existence. Okay, great. That's a great way to put. I just realized I'm grateful for so many things: family, good people, good job, and grateful that I'm attending this session. Thank you so much, Shruti. Like, this is really encouraging for me as well. I'm grateful to you that you're joining this session. I'm so happy. Great. This was amazing to read. Okay, great. So any question, anything else that you've got, Aditi? Like, do you have any questions? I'll just move ahead. There's just two things to cover, more things. But before that, is there anything that you wanted me to dig into more?
No, I think we can just go ahead and we can, put the Q&A to the end. I'll just encourage people.
Great, perfect, awesome. So now, like, like, we are, I think, ready to. There were 5 great questions. I think some of them we would remember for sure. Like, the privileges bed, genuinely feeling great gratitude, how to let it go, and the last one was just like an informative one. Now that you're like sort of like some of the things, I have seen this, that some of the things, And yet it is so difficult to bring that change, the habit change. And I think most of us might have read Atomic Habits. I'm just focusing on just two important points which I've learned from Atomic Habits to help build this habit, right? And in fact, I had not even read Atomic Habit when I started journaling. And I remember how much I used to love it, that no reminders, I would just be genuinely like feel gratitude every single day. It had become a habit, like not focused on making it a habit, but yet it had become. So I'm just going to take two of them. Right. So this is very important. You would remember from my story that every day I would hop onto the cab and open up my phone, open up the notes app and write into them. So I had anchored it subconsciously. I had not read this book or How to Form Habits, but I realized it was something that I anchored. Like, so once I get out of my house and when I step into the cab at 9 almost a.m., when I sit on my seat, I'm just going to open up my phone and write it about it. And anchoring was basically helpful because my mind was trained. It was doing it subconsciously. So I think I strongly believe this. So I'll just skip this ahead. So one of the things that a lot of the people who use the gratitude app, I generally hear them. I ask them, how did you form this habit, right? And they'll tell me that, hey, I have created a morning routine, or I have created an evening routine. So morning routine is something that even I have like built right now. And I feel that's a great way to like start your day as well. Because what I've realized is self-love is so important. Like if you want to love others, I think it starts with first loving your own self. Because if you don't fill up your cup first, right? If you don't like put in energy on your own self, you won't be able to help much to like provide help to others. So first we need to ensure that our energy levels are like high, and so we need to fill our cup first. So self love is really important. And right, and the best way to do that is first thing in the morning you need to fill up your cup, and that is by, let's say, practicing gratitude, journaling a little bit about it, maybe meditation, going for a run. Most of you might be aware of like other physical healthy habits to do from the sessions. So morning routine is great because it helps you to right, fill up your cup first. So you can just create an anchor. Maybe it's after waking up, after brushing your teeth, you would just sit down and like write in your physical journal. It could be after like morning cup of tea, or it could be just like before reading newspaper, if some of you might be, or just like maybe a great anchor could be, just don't start work, just like probably spend 15 minutes journaling or just expressing gratitude, and then you could start your work. So something like that, right, in your calendar before your first meeting, or it could be even between meetings. So you could just anchor a habit. When this happens, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do gratitude journaling. And once I complete gratitude journaling, I'll continue with the rest of my tasks or whatever that is. That is one. I think Atomic Habits is a great read. The second one is, yes, I believe this. Like, you need to create an environment that nurtures the gratitude emotion. If you are surrounded by people who are always complaining, how much ever you might like I know, like if you have very very grit and you're very very persistent, things can happen. But if you want to make it much more easier, you need to create an environment around you. First thing is just cleaning up the mess, right? It will be first cleaning up the bugs rather than before creating any feature. So it will mean that what you could do is like, so I remember I had joined some couple of Facebook groups. I remember I had like joined a gratitude group, or I had created one as well, a WhatsApp group, joined a few subreddits. So I've still joined Law of Attraction subreddit. There is another which is on self-improvement. So you need to create an environment around you so that you can have a gratitude jar. So not just like journal, like a physical journal is also great because it keeps showing you, and just reading the word gratitude can trigger so many things. It can be a gratitude jar, it can be a gratitude rock, it can be people around you who are also like in that same space, and you're doing this as a group exercise. So you can ask a question like, how can I create an environment for me to like nurture this emotion, right? So I think, yeah, these are the two great habits. So create a morning routine. One such example is, if you're using the gratitude app, one of the best things that we have in the app is Daily Zen. So there are like 4 tabs. The first tab is journal. So the Daily Zen is one of the tabs. So Daily Zen gives you a positive quote and an affirmation to begin your day. So sometimes quotes hit you, like the one Rumi's quote did to me. So if you can't think of something to be grateful for, you can start with a Daily Zen. You can spend a few minutes writing your journal. And this is very, very critical. Most of the times I remember when it's very tough, you start questioning your self-worth. You start asking, am I not deserving? Am I deserving? Sorry. Am I worthy? Am I enough? And what you're doing is your own talk is so it has become so miserable that you need to work on it. So affirmations are great when it helps you to improve your positive self-talk. So instead of like just casually or compulsively saying that you are not enough, I think you need to change that narrative, right? First there's a question mark, and then you should be like, hey, like, I am worthy of certain things. I am deserving of these things, or like, I am doing things to be deserving of these things. If you don't want to come out too hard, you can always change your self-talk, and that is really, really important. I really encourage you to do this. It's very important part of like your self-love, and filling up your cup, right? Because before work, if you start just questioning that, oh, why this meetings, and I'm not doing a great job, you're probably just going to have a wasteful day. So make sure that you're positive talk, you're able to like improve your self-talk. And then yes, spend few minutes simply visualizing. Sometimes like most of the things don't even matter in our lives. Just sometime make a vision list of like, what are the most important things that are in my life, what I would want to do. Or it could be travel, it could be something in career. And you just spend time just visualizing, okay, what do I see myself when I'm doing this travel. So what is this? It's helping you is also empowering you and just allowing you to focus on important things, right? Similarly, you can create a evening routine, which is before sleep, you can do all these things, and you are going to then sleep peacefully. And I'm pretty sure like sound sleep, you wake up very refreshed the next morning. So I think these are great times. Like before sleep, generally, not so healthy activities. If if you're watching too much of Netflix, a great way, even if you do, like a great way would be just to just reflect on the day and probably write your journal and just tell to yourself that, hey, you're doing great, and that's about it, right? So before that, like, just I want to remind, just be softer with you. We forget this. We become so hard on ourselves that we remember to be great to our friends, be softer on our friends. We forget to do that for our own selves. So be softer with you. This is such a beautiful poem by Naira Wahid. You're a breathing thing, a memory to someone, and a home to a life. Right. So that's all from my side, Aditi. We are open to any questions.
Thank you so
And
much.
yes, and
Yes.
at the end, whenever when you're ending this, just let me know. So what I decided was, I don't want this to be just a 1 hour session on gratitude and just be done with it. I don't know. I have done this like I have been on the recipient side, and I've found that sessions are not always helpful. So what I've done is we've created a 21-day course, which we launched today as part of World Gratitude Day. Because 21 days is a great thing to like just keep continuing and build this as a habit. So I really, really want to encourage the participants to take that challenge, so that this session is just a booster to the next 21 days. And I'm pretty sure like that is something that you will enjoy. So if you can, like, I'll probably just post the link. Oh, sorry. I
Definitely, that's a great idea. I think we can use that as one of the long-term takeaways from the session. So yeah,
Yes,
if you can share the details with me or here, I can make sure I'll make sure everybody here gets it, and those have even registered for the event but not showed up, I'll share it with them
yeah,
as well. So
that
that's
would be
actually
great.
very
If you're
helpful. Thank
sharing the recording, if that this recording will be a great starter to,
you. Yeah.
not necessarily that you can start off with the course right away, but it's free to enroll for all the 21 days. And you can just like enjoy having that session. It's on self-love, and we're covering topics on areas where leads to lower self-love, right? So you compare with someone else, or you are not respecting your own self. So we're trying to target those areas and improve your positive self-talk in that course. Great.
Great. That's going to be very helpful.
Awesome.
I think that's a great takeaway to have from this session. We have a few questions in the chat box. I'll just read it out to you. So Shraddha Charan asked, can we control anger by practicing gratitude, and how?
Okay. So can we control anger by practicing gratitude? Um, like, so gratitude, many times I get this question, like it's like, hey, like, is gratitude a solution to ABC, right? And anger is an emotion again, like anger is something that is also an emotion. And I feel like gratitude is not like sort of a quick antidote to anger. Like if you're angry, you just can't be like, hey, what are you grateful for? It could be like somewhere like difficult. But over time, what happens is, it's not, gratitude is not something like at point of care solution, but it takes a little bit of time to, what happens is, I think when you're angry, you're at least actually aware and not causing too much harm. So over time, when you're like practicing, so I can just share my own personal experience. I remember I used to be always angry. I had not been a grateful person before. I can totally say that, because whenever I was in traffic, I would be very, very angry on all the people around. Whenever like things won't happen my way, I used to fight a lot, right? And while so what worked for me is, gratitude didn't fix it right away, but practicing gratitude over time has made my anger less. I think even if I don't usually get angry, like people say that about me, like Neha, my wife, she tells me like, you never get angry. But even if when I do, I'm at least aware that I'm getting angry and I might be harming myself. So gratitude is making me mindful. So by that question, I think what would be a great way is, even if you're angry, if you're just aware that you're being angry, and that will lead to just asking a question, okay, am I angry just for nothing? Is it psychological? Is it real? Can I deal with this better? It at least makes you self-aware. So I think gratitude definitely helps, but not at the point of care. So not like, okay, you're angry and like, okay, instantly I'm going to think about gratitude. Not maybe like that. Yeah, early on.
I think that's a very realistic answer instead of just, jumping to the solution of, hey, I'm going to practice this and not be angry anymore.
Yeah,
Yeah, so
and it's difficult, like, so I'm like not a psychologist either, or like someone like a therapist, and so I usually would go by my personal like experiences. So yeah, that's how I go about. Yeah.
cool. So there's one more, I think, yeah,
Yeah.
question from Shweta Prakash. So it's a bit of a long one. So there are many people who believe in devil's eye. They keep all the good things to themselves and thinking other people might get jealous and give negative energy. In Hindi, they say Nazar Lagna. So you have an
Hmm.
idea on this or such thinking?
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think interestingly enough, my parents also have that kind of a, an approach. Like I remember like when we were doing well in studies, and she'll be like, no, like let's not share, like let's just be silent about like things, and not share that. Um, I don't know. Like, so when you say Nazar Lagna, right? What you are telling is that someone else is having control on your life, right? Meaning like someone else um, can, yeah, basically they have control. You don't have responsibility on your own life. You're relinquishing your control from your life by saying that if someone else looks at me in a jealous way, I'm going to get impacted. I think I feel that is a flawed way of thinking. I feel that you are responsible, so you can like see again. Like I think in a humble manner, you can always talk about things. Of course, then that there is that etiquette thing about it, but you can always like tell, and it really does not matter, because you are sure that you are responsible for your own happiness. You are going to be responsible for all that. So koi kuch bhi kare, like whatever they have to do, it's a reflection of them, right? So um, if it is not wired in my brain, then it does not even matter what they think about it, maybe, right? So I think I have a say. I think I used to shout my mother like saying ki why should we not tell anything, or why should we? And that leads to another thing, I think, is you start feeling that you're not enough again, because uh, you need to respect your own self, right? I believe that. So that's my subjective thing. For me, I think sometimes if at times I need to tell about like I have done good. I've done good. Like I'm like worthy of it. Like great things are happening in my life too, right? At least your friends. Because if you're not, then you're consciously thinking that, okay, I'm not enough, like I need to do something more bigger. What if they like, if anyone else, see, you also might become envy, or I don't know, you might have the same reaction towards others, like nazar lagna, I'm becoming envy and jealous about others because you think right others are jealous about you. Is that, yeah.
Got it. Thank you, Pritesh. So a lot of people have written on the chat that they've enrolled for your 21-day self course, and Meghna has asked us what an expected outcome is from the self-love course.
Okay, great. That's a great question. So the self-love course is taken by my teammates. So by the way, Gratitude app is just 4-member team. We are the 4 people we're basically committed to just spreading gratitude and helping people, build a very healthy relationship with themselves. So self-love is built by my teammate Arushi. So she's the one who writes really well. She has gone through a journey herself, where she had felt very low confidence, not having that healthy body image, and she went through her own journey. And then, one day she decided that, hey, I want to do a 21-day gratitude course. I think, it's something that will help. It has helped me. I think it will, just the reason why I started gratitude. So similar to that. So the outcome of this 21-day, is to target those areas which can lead to decreased self-love. When I mean to say self-love, it's actually about um, loving yourself, like feeling that you're worthy, feeling that you're enough. So there are a lot of target areas. So if you want, I can like quickly share you a quick screen, and then that will, I think, clear this answer. So let me just share my screen once again. So this is our 21-day self-love course, right? And we have like 3 things. There's a short video which is going to target your improvement areas, which lowers your self-love. There are some point areas that you could target and improve, and that we do by daily. There are daily self-affirmations meditations. You can actually listen to an audio based on that target area. And we end it with a journal prompt. So we ask you to like also journal, like, what did you think about what you did, right? And the target area is something like, you need to embrace your emotions, say bye to comparison. There are affirmations for confidence, listening to your own intuition. You look just fine. This is on your looks. Progress, not perfection. This is for perfectionists, right? These are all the areas which sort of lead to questioning your own worth. And so at the end of the 21 day, I think what it's going to lead you is give you tools that will help you to always fill up your cup first, like be on that energy level where you are like able to love yourself more and share that love with others, right? Not like it's very idle like that way. I mean, for some people it might make that impact based on wherever you are in your journey, right? When you are in the deepest of the trenches, you rise much higher. When you're not so much, you won't appreciate as much, and you will still have like a local maxima, right? So I expect, like, I think the expected outcome is definitely to feel better about your own self. And at the end of the 21 days, you might just realize something very, very great things about you, very mysterious things about you, because you journaled and you know yourself much better now. So I think that would be a great outcome. Yeah.
Thanks a ton for explaining that, Pritesh. And I think this will be a very useful toolkit for everyone to take back with them after this session. So for everyone who attended, I will be sending you the course link, the book links that Pritesh talked about, and also the link for the app in our feedback email and the recording that we give to you. And Pritesh, thank you so much for coming and joining Plum today. This was very, very useful, very realistic solutions and habits that we can inculcate in our daily life. So thanks, Tan, for coming
Thank you
in, and
so
thanks
much.
for
Like,
introducing us to the course as well.
great. Yeah, I'm like thankful to you, Aditi. Like, thanks for having me. All the people, like Megha has been such a gem, Isha, Abhilash, every one of you, Meghna, Prachi. So like, thanks for joining and listening to me. I'm really grateful. It's a great way of spending my day, as a World Gratitude Day as well. So thank you so much.